All right, we're going to spend a little more time talking about using eTMACT to review service notes. So we're going to enter back into client ID 12, which has been started. And as a reminder, the information that's been listed up here, we can manipulate that and change that once we hit edit right here. So you can then go through and make your updates, hit save. This information was auto-generated in through eTMACT, where it's sharing with us for client ID, what did the team say in the client survey in terms of whether this person is receiving these services? To enter in for a specific service note, there's two ways to do that. First, you can hit add log entry. Let's click that. And right away, if you see this team member list, if you pull this down, it will list all the different team members that have been confirmed as being part of the team. Now, I want to remind us of something about this team. So I'm going to hit cancel to show you, save and return to chart list. The team survey, for this team, we have one person, Ed Smith, who is no longer with the team, but is included because Ed was part of the team within the past 3 months. And then we have another person, Vanessa Adams, who was considered not to be part of the team. They did not meet our team inclusion criteria. So Vanessa is not, Ed was included. So if we go back to chart log access to 12, add note, you will see Ed is included, Vanessa is not, and that's how it should be. So let's say that in this case, it was a note by the team leader, Letitia. This calendar restricts us only to selecting dates that fall within the window. You can't choose, see how it moved it? It won't allow us to choose a date that falls outside the window. So I will choose 27th, and the contact type was face-to-face. How long? It was 35 minutes. Contact location, community, institution, office. For the sake of calculations, eTMACT treats community and institution the same. It's non-office based, but we tease it out to track institutional contacts. Recall that all these little green icons are information buttons. So if you need a reminder of what something is, click that. The actual date of service. That's a good reminder, not the date the service note was completed. So recall that you have these options where it will describe what we're talking about here. Now, I won't write a lot here, yada, yada, yada. It's important to know that you should not be writing PHI. Do not write the client's name in there. Don't write the mom's name. Limit the information that's going here that could identify the person. Also, if you had indication that a natural support was present and participating during that review, you would say yes. And then here, you're making decisions about the nature of this contact. Did you see information that suggested that psychiatric rehabilitation was provided? Co-occurring substance use treatment, employment services, manualized wellness management recovery services. What does that mean? Click that open. We speak to it here. We tease out here, which we didn't in the paper-based review. Do you see evidence of informal, non-manualized peer support services? This gives some information here about why we're collecting this and what would be examples. Empirically supported therapy and healthcare. Healthcare does not count giving IM injections, delivering psychiatric medications. This is more about overall physical healthcare with these examples. You can set all to no by clicking this. And then as you review the chart for this service note, change it as you see evidence of things. A little pro tip reminder, as soon as you're giving credit for week, because sometimes it's difficult to tease out, is this week or a no? Strong should be obvious because it's very personalized. It's clearly using some decent skills. It's robust. But sometimes it's hard to distinguish, should I give any credit or no credit? Week, once you click in yes week, this note is going to contribute to credit towards the respective full responsibility item. So we'll talk about that a bit more when we give a little video about the rating tool and the full responsibility items. But when you have a rating that starts looking very generous, sometimes it's because the evaluators were very generous on what they were giving credit for week. And sometimes they're a little bit harsh, and there is enough evidence for week, and it's not getting the credit it would seem to receive. So just a tip there. And also notice that the default is to include a note. It will always say that. And information about why you would change the setting to exclude for frequency and exclude absolutely. But the default is include. So most of the time you're including. More commonly, you may exclude for frequency if, say, 2 staff saw the person in the same day and that didn't appear well coordinated, or actually not well coordinated, scratch that. If it's sequential, so somebody goes to the group, there's a group note by Letitia, and then they immediately see the nurse in the office to get an injection, and there's a service note from the nurse, and you have 2 contacts that really, from the experience of the client, was one sequential contact. So I'll hit save. And now notice, this was by design. Carol and Letitia saw client ID 12 on the same day. So now it's prompting us. A warning will come up where eTMACT is saying, hey, you have 2 contacts in a day. Consider whether you want to exclude one for frequency or not. And let's say that for this case, actually, we're not going to do that. We're going to leave it in. We're going to have other videos to kind of speak to these examples, but I wanted to do a quick add. Quick add allows you to get the bare minimal information inputted, and then you go back through and edit and start adding in the narrative of what you saw. So it's a preferential style of how to review charts. I prefer it. So in this case, I will go ahead and start picking dates. This was a phone call. When phone calls are selected, more boxes may not show up because we obviously don't care about location, duration of that call, who was it with, and do a quick add. Then I have another one here. This was face-to-face. This was in the community. It was 55 minutes, and it ended up being the nurse. And we're going to do a quick add. So it's adding them in. It's letting us know, because include is not listed here or nothing's listed here, that we have yet to edit it. So now I'm going to hit edit, and the basic information is already inputted. I'm going to say no. I'm going to set no to no. This one involved taking to a healthcare appointment. I don't care about typos, but I will fix that. And that's it. Save. Now you can see that my quick add now has include. And if I edit Marcus, and let's say All right. So there you go. So similar, just to show real quick, because I didn't do it. If phone is selected, a few pieces of information comes up. If collateral is collected, so it will toggle, given the nature, the contact type, it will change what kind of information we're seeking. So collateral contact is not necessarily asking about duration or location, because that information is not needed for the sake of any calculation. All right, this concludes this review.